Hi, I'm Brian Quibben. I'm a bariatric surgeon, and one question I oftentimes get from men is, what are my benefits from having weight loss surgery? One thing that I noticed a long time ago was that men that were severely obese or morbidly obese had a decreased energy, and they would tell me this. And so I started to take note of that. And what I would also hear from men once I started asking the questions is that they said, I have a decreased sex drive. Will this help me out? And so I studied it. And myself and my associate at the time published a paper about sexual dysfunction in patients, male patients that are morbidly obese, and how that improves after surgery. And it was the first paper ever published on bariatric surgery that actually looked directly at this issue. So when we published it, we found that it was quite dramatic. And actually, I found later that the article was quoted in the news and in the media in at least 25 countries around the world. And what we found is that when we studied the patients, and what we did is we studied 97 men that underwent weight loss surgery. And we found that the average weight loss in this group was 67% of the excess weight that they had, which means that if you had 100 extra pounds, you lost 67 of those pounds. So you only had 33 extra pounds, which is about what I got, and maybe I have 20 extra pounds or so, but it's not nearly 100. It was a very successful group of men that had lost this weight. And they had weight loss surgery, and at the time we were doing gastric bypass and primarily in some gastric bands. And what we found is that prior to surgery, patients reported problems with their sex drive, with erectile dysfunction. These kind of problems increased as their body mass index went up. And that was absolutely clear. The problems with their sex drive and other associated aspects of that increased as their body mass index went up. And then we found that after surgery, once they had lost the weight, those things resolved almost completely. The sex drive dramatically improved, erectile dysfunction decreased substantially, and the patients were much happier. They had more energy, and overall they were much happier with their sex life. And we published that, and here's the publication, if anybody wants to know. And this publication was so significant that it got picked up and followed by some other universities. And what they did is they started studying this issue with women as well. And they found that as women's BMI got significantly higher, their sex drive and problems with their sex life also increased. When they lost the weight, these things tended to go away or dramatically improve. So when men ask me what are some of the benefits, this is something that I actually mentioned to them. Now, what motivated me initially to look into this was something I learned in medical school. And what I learned is that peripheral body fat, meaning the body fat that's under your skin and so on, converts testosterone into estrogen, okay? So that male patients will have a decreased testosterone level. There's also issues with producing less testosterone as you become more severely obese. So if men don't have the right balance of testosterone in their body, they tend to have a feeling of low energy, low self-esteem. They also have difficulties with sleeping, these types of things. And it's not just a sex drive issue. But one thing that was really key is as they lost the weight, okay, we showed that these problems could be eliminated or reversed. And to me, this is extremely significant because your energy level, your sex drive, these kind of things, your joie de vivre, how much you enjoy life is extremely important. And what we showed is that with successful long-term weight loss, these things resolve. Now, the problem is when you lose weight without surgery, Most people tend to regain it back and more. Okay, when you lose weight with surgery, the majority keep it off. Okay, that's the key. So losing the weight improves your energy level, your sex drive. Keeping it off helps maintain that throughout your life. So this is one of the benefits that men achieve, and in fact, other publications have shown that women achieve similar benefits. So I thought I'd mention that, and I think it's significant. I hope this information is worthwhile. Thank you.